Wanting to become a YouTuber for fun or for profit? Check out the amazing Blue Yeti microphone today. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and net neutrality is once again on the lips of, I would argue, a fair amount of Americans, not just Americans, but other people around the world that are definitely wanting to know what's going to happen when the FCC votes on net neutrality, whether or not it upholds the internet as we know it, which is exactly what should happen, or gives in to corporations that are looking to find a way to funnel more money out of companies that use the internet for their business by throttling them until they pay an extra fee. Comes across as a bit of extortion, doesn't it? Capitalistic extortion nonetheless, but it's still extortion. That's what it feels like to me. So Law News here has an article all about what is net neutrality. And I figured it'd be good to go through this in order to give you guys at home a better understanding of just what is at stake here. Because you do hear the terms net neutrality, and some people don't know what it means. I've talked to some that get it, and others that think it's the exact opposite of what it's intended for. It's been a bit of a confusing process, and that has a lot to do, I think, with our general understanding of what the internet is and how it impacts our day-to-day life. So without further ado, let's jump into this here. Saying here, internet heavyweights Facebook, Google, Amazon, Netflix are joining at least 80,000 other websites to protest the Federal Communications Commission's proposed rollback of network neutrality. Today. Stupid parentheses. Urging users to send comments to the regulatory agency demanding net neutrality's preservation. But what exactly is net neutrality, and why does everyone care about it all of a sudden? And that's a bit, I'd say maybe a misleading sentence there. It's not that people are caring about it all of a sudden. People have been caring about it for years. You know, you've had Reddit go dark to protest like SOPA, other things that would come across, even though it's not 100% related to net neutrality. It feels very much in line with that kind of shit. Same with the TPP. That was kind of in line. It was not the same thing, but kind of running parallel. So people have cared about issues involving the internet and things that affect the internet for many years, you know. And so it's not new, but it always feels new every time it comes up, because I think people are sitting there going like, this again? I thought we handled this shit. Which is one of the reasons why that the fight takes as much energy as it does, because people are thinking, well, I thought we already beat this. So there's nothing to worry about. It's already fine. And they may not want to engage a second or third time. But no, this is something we have to be ever vigilant on as we continue going forward, because the internet is not, at this point, just something we use, just a tool. I'm going to go as far as to say that it is a human right. It is. It's a human right to have access to the internet, open, unfettered access to the internet. And you can disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But here's why I say that it's a human right. It's a human right because we need it for everything. You need it to watch this video, to check your email. Come on, let's be fair. Let's be fair. When you're home, it's 3 in the morning, you can't sleep, you pull out your phone, you type in Pornhub.com, and you get your rocks off, right? You want it. You want it for the jerkin. And I understand that. I empathize. I sympathize. I completely get it, which is one of the reasons why you don't want to have Pornhub throttled while you're trying to spank the one-eyed monster. Think about that for a second. Just kind of use it in terms that you might understand. You're getting close to ejaculation. You're waiting for the one shot you like, or if you're a female, you know, getting close to orgasming. Okay, and you're waiting for the one shot. Everyone has the one position that they like. It's not always the money shot, but just the one move or the one position or the one shot that just gets them to the point they need to get to. And then you're getting there, you got eye contact going on with the girl because you hate it when they cut away to the guy, because that just completely breaks immersion, because I'm not there to look at your face, dude. Stop cutting away to that guy's face, I swear to God. Anyway, so you're right there, you're getting to go, and then all of a sudden it just slows down and buffers. Because it's been throttled because Pornhub hasn't paid enough money to your service provider in order to make sure that you have full access to the net and that website. That's what happens to your dick without net neutrality. I know what you're thinking. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Bullshit. You ever have blue balls? If you can't come and you're fucking there, you're in pain. That's why net neutrality is important. That's a horrible analogy, but it still is apt. It's an apt analogy, but you guys get what I'm trying to say here. All right, so So it goes on to say, as of now, net neutrality is shorthand for the internet as we know it. It's the idea and tradition that the internet service providers will not discriminate or charge differently based on content, website, or platform, and essentially that ISPs must provide the same version of the internet to everyone regardless of their location, political opinion, or internet consumption habits. So if you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're an independent, you love YouTube or RedTube, it doesn't matter. You have access to the same stuff without interruption, without one site being throttled over another. And that is why this is important. So though generally understood as more of a principle than anything, it wouldn't be entirely inaccurate to say that it's the present state of the law. The FCC officially regulates ISPs and in 2015 classified them as common carriers under the Title II of the 1934 Communications Act and Section 706 of the 1996 Telecommunications Act in order to preserve the neutrality of the network that we call the internet. Common carrier status effectively means ISPs are treated similar to phone companies and other utilities. Therefore, they must keep the internet an open and neutral gateway to the content contained online. Effectively, this means ISPs can't speed up or slow down access to certain content or throttle users' bandwidth just because they feel like it. And again, this even can equate itself to YouTube. What if YouTube as a whole, if this thing goes away, starts trying to charge the user, the content creator, for unfettered access? What if they start telling me, okay, Matt, listen, we know you make your money doing this thing. We know this is your living. We know this is how you operate. What if we were to charge you a few dollars a month so people have access to your stuff here? We're going to throttle you in order to pay us, so then we can pay the content provider or the ISP. That's probably not going to happen on this platform, but it could happen on other platforms. It could happen on other things, right? I mean, we don't know to the extent of what could happen, but it's an idea that it could. Now it says here that here are a few examples of what compromised, i.e. non-neutral internet might look like. So number one is the illicit behavior Comcast in 2007. The ISP was secretly throttling the bandwidth of users who were uploading to peer-to-peer file sharing sites like BitTorrent. Once this behavior was discovered by the FCC, Comcast was ordered to stop. Now, not everyone who uses BitTorrent uses it for illegal or illicit purposes. You can find a lot of open source imagery and music and movies and other types of digital content that has made its way to BitTorrents. And if that information that is not being handled illegally or traded illegally is being throttled by, well, in this case, Comcast, also my particular internet service provider, then that is a bad thing for the trading of information. And once they were ordered to stop, they just went after the BitTorrent providers themselves, which again is kind of shitty because I miss you, Demonoid. I miss you so much, Demonoid. You were so great to me, and then you were taken away when you were too young. It's horrible. Anyway, number two, the illegal 2004 activity of Madison River Communications, a phone company which was blocking users' ability to access competitor Vonage's internet-based phone services, were fined by the FCC. See, that's one thing too. People blocking access to a competitor service because there's some chuckle fucks. I'm glad they were caught. Number three, AT&T got one in an unlawful action in 2012, limiting access to Apple's FaceTime app to those customers who purchased a more expensive data plan. They eventually backed down before the FCC was forced to act, which is good that AT&T figured out that they were being dicks and fixed it. But again, you're seeing a pattern here. Large companies are finding ways to fuck with you, the consumer, who paid them money for access to the shit that should be open to everybody. Hence why I keep saying the internet should be a goddamn fucking utility. Number four, not to be outdone, Verizon in 2007 decided to censor pro-choice text messages sent across their SMS network. The decision was swiftly criticized across the political spectrum and then swiftly reversed. So it gives you an idea of the kind of shit that goes on with these companies, the kind of shit that they've done. I mean, censoring pro-choice text messages, fuck you, Verizon. Now you own Yahoo, so that's gonna go to shit. If you like Yahoo, which let's be fair, probably not a lot of people like Yahoo anymore. So net neutrality, therefore, in its present state, is a regulation intended to curb potential abuses of corporate power by internet service providers who seek to offer tiered pricing, regulate political content they might disagree with, or single out certain users or applications and deny them access. Like I said, this could affect you, even if you think it could not affect you. If I am running my website and my website is political, I have my own politics. And let's say, for example, Verizon doesn't like the fact that I blog about shit. They could sit there and they could block access to MundaneMat.com because of reasons. And then you, who might actually enjoy my content and not align themselves with that particular internet service provider, then doesn't have a choice unless you move to somebody else. But what if you're stuck in an area that is capped off by one of the giant telecom companies and you don't have access to a secondary service? And that's a big problem too. Look, okay, where I'm at, there's only one. There's only one, and that's Comcast. And yes, I get good internet speeds here with Comcast to the point of where I'm very happy. But what if I want Time Warner, which I've had and they're horrible, or AT&T, which I've had and they're horrible, or Cox Communications, which I've had and I love them. They're not the best company in the world, but I can't get access to them here because they've carved out parts of the country. That's a whole other debate for another time, but it shows you how telecom companies have a stranglehold on certain parts of the country, and they want net neutrality to go away in order for them to completely continue sucking the life out of you. And not in a good 50 Shades of Grey way, but in like a horrible, you're going to die in this basement sort of way. Now, the extent of the FCC's authority over ISPs, however, is an open question, currently subject to varied legal wrangling on all sides of the issues. Thus, net neutrality is an ever precarious state of being, which brings us to today. President Trump's appointed FCC Chairman Ajit Pai began the process of compromising net neutrality just a few months after taking office. In a 2-1 vote along partisan lines, the FCC is nonsensically straitjacketed by a rule that no more than 3 of its 5 members may come from the same political party. Earlier this year, the FCC decided to review the Obama-era policy on net neutrality. So they haven't voted on it yet. But it could happen at any time. But the thing is, today people fought back. And there was over 3 million emails and over, I think, 187,000 phone calls that came into the FCC. Last week, tonight, I just talked about this a few weeks ago, and to help out a little bit. But it really does depend on I'm just going to come out and be blunt about this, Trump supporters who are not happy about this. And the reason why I'm putting that burden onto you is because, Donald Trump believes he was elected only to serve you. You are his base. You are the people who put him in the Oval Office. And I'm not mad at you for voting how you voted. You voted your conscience. You voted your truth. That is your American right to do. And I don't fault you for it. But there's a responsibility that comes with that when the president only listens to those few who did. It's up to you to make noise, to make us think about this. If you want to protect net neutrality, that's how you do it. People like me who wanted Bernie Sanders to win are just called a fucking socialist cuck and ignored. But you guys have the power. And honestly, when you want to protect something that you disagree with being taken away, this is where you got to stand up. A lot of other people already are, but it's going to require more and more and more and more. I really, really want you guys to check this stuff out. Look into it yourself. And hopefully we can, in fact, save the internet from being taken over by corporations that want to throttle access to websites that deal in peer-to-peer services, especially if you like to dabble in the pirate arts, or if you want to upload your book to a torrent or your music to a torrent. What if they disagree and you don't have access to that? Or what if someone who is very, very much wanting your information, wanting your stuff, can't get it because they're blocked by their ISP? It's not neutrality. It's not equal if it's segregated. And we can't let that fucking happen. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. If you guys liked it, be sure to toss it a thumbs up, slap on that subscribe, because I post new content pretty much every single day. Also, live streams, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Sunday through Wednesday, and probably some extra days in between. If you guys want to support the channel, check out the Amazon affiliate link that was posted in the beginning, Patreon, PayPal, anything really helps out right now. But regardless, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here. I'll see you later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.